Our connection to place is so uniquely individualistic. It's what makes us who we become. I am fifth generation North Idahoan. I was born in Sandpoint in 2002, and I've lived in Hope my whole life, the youngest of 4 girls. We were raised to know this place as intimately as we knew ourselves. That was just part of growing up here. The land wasn't a background scenery, it was a teacher, a compass, a constant. Over the past 10 months at the McCall Outdoor Science School, I've been studying place-based education and realizing it's something I've been living long before I had a language for it. My teachers in North Idaho didn't always call it place-based, but they taught us through the lakes, the forests, the weather, the stories of the region, and now I find myself doing the same thing with my own students. Nearly every day, I ask them to start with a place they feel connected to. Think of somewhere that feels like yours, I tell them as we walk through Ponderosa State Park. Turn and tell a friend as we walk down the trail. And every time, my mind drifts back to Hope, specifically the north shore of Lake Pend Oreille. My body knows that shoreline. That's where my sense of belonging lives. That's the magic of this place. My connection to it isn't just personal, it's generational. It's something passed down, shaped by the people who came before me. And that made me curious. Curious about how he learned this place. Curious about what it has meant to him across a lifetime. Before I could understand my own connection to this place, I needed to understand his.
Travis John Kiebert. Sandpoint, Idaho, June 16th, 1966.
What does it mean to you to have a connection to a place? What does it look like?
Well, it's pretty general. I mean, I don't understand how people can just up and leave and go someplace else after they've been someplace their whole life and learned it and you know all the ins and outs of the people and the ground and and I guess it's different for everybody. Somebody from a big city somewhere might feel the same way, and then they would be out of sorts, growing up how I grew up.
Think of a place that you feel so deeply connected to that you would be like, that's my place, or that place has a piece of me there still.
Well, I mean, that's pretty much how I feel about this whole east end of Bonner County. Every time I would leave and go away working for Columbia Helicopters, sawing logs someplace else, I'd be gone for months at a time.
Yeah.
When you come back across the Long Bridge, a lot of people say, that's it. For me, it never was. It was as soon as I get to Trestle Creek and start coming up over those curves towards Hope, and you could see the monarchs and the islands. That's when I knew I was home.
Can you tell me about this place? You said East Bonner County. What's the most special part about this place?
Diversity, outdoor, the flora and the fauna. I mean, there's very few large mammal North America associated that do not live in East Bonner County. About the only one I could think of, and they're fairly close, like bighorn sheep.
Right there. Yeah.
I mean, we technically have caribou in North Bonner County on occasion. Moose, deer, bear, both kinds of deer, elk. Oh, jeez. Anyway, as far as big game goes, and all the other stuff too. I mean, we've got fishers and all kinds of, probably the occasional grizzly bear and the occasional wolverine that we just don't know about. And forest-wise, I mean, it's about as diverse as you can get too. There's about almost every kind of merchantable softwood and lots of different kinds of hardwoods and brush and just everything.
How has this place changed over time? Most noticeably?
Just in my time or that I know of?
Both.
Well, white man hasn't been here all that long. A few before the railroad, not many. But then the railroad was like 1882. And I think just the population of the county since I was born has probably quadrupled or more. You know, so, but that's progress. You gotta keep making stuff and developing stuff in order to, you know, move forward. Yeah, but other houses, other places, where I grew up, I used to be able to go out the back door and go deer hunting all the way up the mountain, clear onto Ninnemans, Bruce's. And there was only one house that I had to avoid. And now you just couldn't do it. There's just too many places scattered throughout everywhere.
From what have you learned the most? From what? It can be literally anything, whole two.
Oh, I don't know. Probably Mother Nature mostly, and watching things evolve. Some of these places that I work, I'll have logged them for the third time in my lifetime.
Over how many years?
30, 35. You know, and see how decisions I make affect the way things turn out, you know, years later. You know, human teachers, but I only take little bits from all of them. I don't fully go all in on just the way somebody does something themselves. I use bits and pieces of Mike Kahn and Grandpa Kermit and Great Grandpa Kermit and Dave Finkelberg and Denny Behrens, Daryl Durr, even, you know, just lots of different little bits of influence education-wise that way.
What are some aspects of this place or community that you hope won't change?
Change is the only thing that is constant. So I guess you could hope to maybe manipulate it a little bit so it doesn't change as fast, but it will change no matter what. There's certain things that have gotten some conservation easements put on and stuff to make sure that it's never developed, and that's a good thing. Nothing I've been directly associated with yet. The people are going to change just because of the influence and influx of so many coming from different places, you know. I do what I can to educate new people coming in on certain nuances of being in North Idaho, East Bonner County. Yeah, it generally works, but sometimes it's not worth the effort because it goes in one ear and out the other. And that's kind of a multifaceted question as far as where my mind goes, as far as natural environment, people, you know. But like I said, change is the only constant. So, you know, manipulating change is your best hope. Getting some people to look at the benefits of just keeping some open spaces in close to population centers and stuff.
Have you felt like you've sacrificed anything by staying here in this place?
No, not really. I know a lot of friends who've moved away from here chasing big money that in retrospect now they say they wish they had either not gone or spent more time back around here because, you know, Seattle or wherever they wound up, you know, they just fall into a rut and go to work, make their money and go home. You know, not much other stuff to do, like, you know, around here, all the outdoor pursuits that you want. So no, I'm not regretting anything that way.
Why did you stay? Like, why this place?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, when I'd be gone on my helicopter logging jaunts and stuff, I'd see lots of other different places, but none of them were ever anywhere close to feeling like this, you know. And maybe it's just because I was so familiar with this, you know, but to me, it's because of just how diverse it is here and all the different opportunities you could have, you know. And as far as like what I do, I've kind of had my sights set on that since I was probably early teens, you know. I mean, I started riding on the cat with Grandpa Kiebert when I was 2, 3, 4 years old, you know, so that intrigued me, and one thing leads to another. And first, you know, chainsaw experience at 11, 12, 13 years old, and, you know, just one thing led to another. And so, no, I'm content.
Good. Would you say this place has a specific feeling to you?
Yeah, but like I said, it's probably because of my bias. Maybe I'm not as worldly as I should have been, you know, but I don't know, guess I'm just all in East Bonner County.
You said, like, what are your hopes and goals for us as we, like, decided to expand outside of this place?
Well, my promoting you guys all going to college wasn't as much for the education as it was for the network of people you were gonna wind up with. And to me, that's more important than what you're actually being taught. You know, having diverse people that you know scattered all over the United States and or Europe. How many people from college do you say you have as close friends now or acquaintances that out of the blue you could call for helping you solve a problem or advice? Or yeah, so to me, for you guys, that's more important to me than the actual education that you're receiving, you know, even though that does help provide a means to an end, you know.
What about, like, thinking of hopes and goals for us regarding coming back to this community?
Nothing specific, just trying to instill an aura of some sort in the back fog of your mind that, you know, certain things matter around here to you too, you know. If you're gonna be in a community, you gotta be part of the community. You know, that's part of my, going back to previous question, that's part of my education process with all the new people I deal with that, you know, show up here with the wrong attitude about certain things. I don't care what your political beliefs are or anything else, but if you're here, you need to get involved in something positive.
Do you have any speculations about why rural areas like ours hold so much magic for those who learn within them?
I don't know if I could really put my finger on it, but, you know, I mean, that would be more of a question for somebody like Bruce Bishop. I mean, part of how I am and how we are is what creates the draw for somebody like him. I don't know if it's just the, like, no bullshit, open and honest about, you know, the community and whatnot. Yeah, not trying to crawl over top of people to make another dime.
Being in this area and learning in a school, I guess not just benefits, but, like, what's so special about it? Like, there's got to be something special about it, you know? Like,
you have opportunities in school to do things under your umbrella of education, but, you know, all kinds of outdoor related stuff, and sometimes even kicking and screaming. Do you remember the Moose Lake hike?
yeah,
And do you remember your attitude on the Moose Lake hike?
yeah.
In retrospect, are you glad you completed the Moose Lake hike?
Oh, yeah. And I've done it like 2 times after.
Yeah, but, you know, just things like that, you know, toughen your way through, and even though it wasn't something that you wanted to do very bad.
Do you have anything else that's come to your mind that you would want to talk about, or?
Nothing like that's glaring. Like, it kind of goes back to the learning from people thing. It's just the little bits and snippets and pieces here and there and everywhere that kind of just mold you into who you get to be. Yeah, there's not one specific thing that is like, aha.
The most powerful learning is when it doesn't even feel like you're learning at all.
That's a good way to put it. And I guess, some people learn differently too, but to me it's just a slow evolution. And I'm almost 60 and I still try to learn as much as I can all the time. Yeah, no great hallelujah moment.
This is what a place can do. Shape the way we learn, the way we love, and the way we imagine what comes next, carrying its lessons quietly across generations. A lifelong relationship with a place becomes its own kind of education, built from the seasons, from stories, from the steady presence of land. And in the end, there is no great hallelujah, just the slow, ordinary ways that a place teaches you how to live, and how to pass those lessons to those who come next.